It's Kat of Kattalestv, and I'm in bed because I'm still sick. But I want to do this video because there's breaking news. There is some serious tea. The tea is that's breaking. Donald Trump had a doorman, and this doorman allegedly was paid $30,000 to keep a secret. The secret that he had was he was aware that one of the housekeepers that Trump had employed had a child with Trump, and this just broke today. So the bodyguard has actually come out and confirmed his side of the story. This breaking news hasn't been confirmed yet, like solid, but it's all over the social media, the internet, whatever. I'm sure in the next couple of hours, as well as the next couple of days, we're going to learn more and probably see more interviews, because Michael Cohen made the doorman an offer he couldn't refuse at the time, a $30,000 non-disclosure agreement, and he kept it until the story was broken today. So anyway, the reason why this is important, because some people don't understand, it's not about Trump being a hoe and sleeping around with other people. I could care less. But what becomes important is two major things. One, if that information that he's trying to keep quiet and private can be used to I like to use the word whitemail instead of blackmail, used to whitemail him. And if the Russians knew about that, if they could use that information against him, as well as information, whatever he did in Russia that they're teasing about, if that is true, then they have leverage against him. Now you have to understand, people like David Becker of AMI, National Enquirer, and Harvey Levin of TMZ, they have access to Trump. They helped Trump with pushing out certain stories and hiding other stories. And what's being alleged, and the evidence is coming out, is that David Becker, owner of National Enquirer and AMI Media Holdings, helped facilitate suppressing some serious stories, like one with Karen McDougal. They promised her money. They gave her money, and they said, hey, we're going to let you do some interviews or write stories, whatever, and, give you a job. But they never really did that. But they paid her off, but they made her keep silent in part of the NDA. Now, in regards to this doorman, they wanted him to keep quiet. So they paid him $30,000. And then you had Stormy Daniels. Michael Cohen allegedly got her to sign a non-disclosure agreement, saying he was acting, alone, and Trump didn't okay it. But yet he paid her $130,000. I get confused between $130,000 and $150,000, because one of those ladies got $150 and one of them got $130, and I have sort of a fever. But long story short, the Fixer was making all these deals, covering up all these stories that under normal circumstances would have destroyed a candidate. Everyone talks about previous candidates, and also like Bill Clinton, when those affair rumors came out, they tried to impeach him. It's John Edwards. John Edwards is the man that had an affair that ended up ruining his presidency. John Edwards. So what I'm saying is that if a person is running for election and there's a major scandal, normally it destroys his or her presidency, and it happened to John Edwards. So again, this makes it very interesting, the timing of the suppression of all the paternity stories, as well as all the affair rumors that Trump had. Like, affairs normally ruin presidential hopes, but Trump, for some reason, was able to skirt right through a bunch of crazy stuff, and certain things happen. Like, for instance, when that Access Hollywood tape went down, the next day, WikiLeaks dropped the Podesta emails. So there would seem to be a coordinated, I call it a coordinated strike to help Trump as one tabloid story came out, another one came out bigger to cover a previous event, to the point where we're all accepting Trump's horrendous behavior. So what's happening now is evidence is piling up. The FBI, and as well as some really great news reporters, are discovering multiple layers of the truth. They're going to find out if it's true that Donald Trump has at least one child. And that makes sense because in some of those NDAs, non-disclosure agreements that were signed, it did mention that the people had to be quiet about any paternity issues. So obviously that was in the contract. So it follows that there was possibly children, or rumors of having, I hate to say illegitimate children, but rumors of Trump having other children outside of his marriage. And that would have destroyed his presidential hopes. So it becomes very important, the timeline close to the election, when these stories broke, when these stories were suppressed. And if Michael Cohen, his fixer, was using campaign contributions to pay these non-disclosure agreements off, lying to the bank about what he was using the money for, if he was doing loans, you have bank fraud. And there's a bunch of other legal issues that Michael Cohen is going to be looked at for, because a lawyer can't make decisions for his client without his client's knowledge. And right now, Trump is pushing, and Michael Cohen is pushing, that Trump had no idea about that non-disclosure agreement with Stormy Daniels, which I find very hilariously not possible. So it's going to be an interesting couple of days to see what happens. If they can prove there is a love child, in reference to that doorman story and the housekeeper. And if that is not proven, there's probably other women that are going to come forward, whether they have a child or not. But the issue is, does Donald Trump have something that he can be manipulated by the Russians, used as leverage against, whether it be the Steele dossier or the numerous side pieces that he has? And also, I wanted to talk about Tony Robbins real quick. Tony Robbins, a lot of you found out about that Me Too video where he is pushing this woman, like, it's a weird thing. He's holding her hand, but he's pushing her back while he's telling her the Me Too movement really doesn't, women are using it for the wrong thing, blah, blah, blah. Now, I found that video very disturbing. It made me very angry. But one thing I remembered about Tony Robbins, and why it turns out there's a video of him praising Donald Trump. And I was like, at first I was thinking, well, that's weird. And then I remembered a while back, there used to be this magazine called, it's not a magazine really. It was it looked like a college course pamphlet. But what it was called a Learning Annex. And this would be in almost every city. I think it was definitely, I saw it in LA. I might have even seen it in Texas. But long story short, what happened is there'd be a group of people that would put on a temporary learning school, shall we say. And it would be, self-improvement. It could be real estate, blah, blah, blah. But a while back, Tony Robbins used to do it with Donald Trump. So you'd have, Tony Robbins is like his self-help guru, and then you had Donald Trump pushing that real estate knowledge. And I just remembered it might have been under the Trump University moniker, for all I know, in regards to what Trump was teaching, but he was definitely teaching something about, excuse me, living his lifestyle and then getting into real estate. So it would follow that those two guys were making so much money with all these gullible people across America back in the day. making a ton of money. So that would make sense why Tony Robbins would be neck and neck with Trump and defend him to no end, even though Don the Con doesn't do business properly, doesn't pay his contractors, treats his wives like shit, been married 3 times, possibly has illegitimate children running around. I mean, it makes sense why all these men that that are trying to tell women to shut up about the Me Too movement would back Trump, because they make money off of Trump. And they probably, who knows, Tony Robbins could have other stuff on the side we don't even know about. But all I'm trying to say is, it's just funny, the people that support Trump and the people that hid the important information that would have helped certain Americans make better decisions, you have to look at why would they do that. Are they racist? Are they sexist? Are they misogynist? Are they Islamophobic? What is their deal? Whether it be Mark Zuckerberg, Steve Bannon, Mark Burnett from Survivor, as well as The Apprentice. And Mark Burnett had access to all the videos, the outtakes that showed what kind of person Donald Trump was on the set. So a lot of people helped, aided and abetted Donald Trump. And now it's going to be interesting to see if some of these stories come out to be true, and if Trump is held accountable for his crimes. It's going to be very interesting what the excuse is of people like Tony Robinson, Mark Burnett, who always is talking about his Christianity and always promoting, his religious television, and all these other people that, Roseanne Barr, who championed Trump. What are they going to say when the shit comes down? It's going to be very, very interesting, because you are judged by the company you keep. So that's pretty much it. I don't know what's going on with Conor McGregor. I guess he's still in New York. There's some story about him and Mayweather. Oh, this reminds me. I don't like it. I think it's stupid, and it's becoming like WWE. If Conor McGregor wants to be an actor, he should just go and be an actor. I mean, Conor McGregor is very talented at certain things, but to me, this whole UFC, boxing, Mayweather, back and forth is just not something I want to see, not something I want to be interested in. The only fight I want to see in regards to Conor McGregor, if he has the balls to actually fight, is with Khabib. That is going to be the greatest fight. I don't care about Floyd Mayweather in the octagon with Conor. It's irrelevant. I hope Conor gets his shit together. And speaking of weird stuff on the WWE, I just happened to see a clip of Ronda Rousey, the WWE. I mean, I'm glad she's making a lot of money, but it's cringeworthy. And I wonder if her man, because I never forget that story they said that she hates do nothing bitch. I hope her boyfriend or her fiance is actually doing something instead of her busting her ass with the horrible acting. With all the money Ronda Rousey makes, she should take an acting class, But like I said, that WWE stuff, that's just not for me. But I wish her, the best of luck. So this is Kat at Kattalestv. I hope this wasn't too long. Have a great day, and I will talk to you later. Bye. It's good to be queen.